YouTube family. What's good with you? It's your boy 2A-N-LA, and as always, fam, anything I say in this episode, prior episodes, and future episodes, it's just my personal opinion. Don't take it as fact. Don't take it as law. Always do your own homework and come up with your own conclusions. Right about now, fam, I'll ask you to go ahead and tap that like button for your boy. If you're new to the channel, I want to say welcome. Come on in. You can join the congregation by smashing that subscribe button and requesting all post notifications. And if you are an existing supporter of this channel, fam, I appreciate you more than you can possibly imagine. You are the reason this channel is anything. All right, let's get this episode rolling. So look, fam, a little while ago, I gave you guys a night vision update. I told you guys my journey towards becoming a superhero was fastly approaching. Well, the time has come, fam, and I'm going to be getting you a lot of night vision footage. I'm planning on to, at least in the very near future, a lot of shooting. We're going to be reviewing my nods and all of that. Today, I thought I'd go over with you my budget helmet setup. Look, fam, night vision is not an inexpensive game. It is very costly. And you guys know, if you've been following the channel, I started my night vision journey well over a year ago. Kind of thinking it through, plotting it out, and figuring out what is the best way I want to go. If you saw the progress in my helmet setup a little while ago, you know I pretty much at that time had everything except the nods, and I was just kind of waiting on them to come in. I also revealed in that video that I'm gonna have two setups. One that is budget, and we'll kind of go over that one now, and then one that is more high end. My thought process with the budget was, you know, typically speaking, you've either got a bump helmet or a ballistic helmet, right? I'd say 90% of the time when I'm running my night vision, I am really going to be just having fun. Just out with the guys at the range, getting some range time in with the nods for pleasure, right? And so for those instances, I really don't need a ballistic helmet. Ballistic helmets tend to weigh a lot more than bump helmets do. They're just more uncomfortable to maneuver around. And so I wanted to get a bump helmet, and ballistic helmets are vastly more expensive too, right? So I wanted to get a bump helmet that was a good bump helmet, reasonably priced. And then I was like, well, if I'm going to do that, I'm not going to be taking all the stuff off this helmet and putting it on this helmet every time I want to make a move between the two. Additionally, I'm not going to want to incur the expense 2 times for a super high-end helmet. Particularly when the bump helmet is going to be used primarily for recreation and fun. So I decided to put together a really budget helmet. And budget for night vision does not mean cheap. Unfortunately, it is still expensive. But enough of me talking about it. Let me show you my bump helmet. Okay, fam. This is your boy 2A-N-LA's Hardhead Veterans ATE bump helmet. Now, I'm going to be talking about the helmet. I'll be giving you prices for things so you have a general idea how much a setup like this costs. But fam, honestly speaking, I did the very best I could to minimize the cost associated with this helmet, and I think I was relatively successful, but I'll let you be the judge of that when it's all said and done. All right, first up, again, this is the Hardhead Veterans Tactical ATE bump helmet, right? I'll put the MSRP of the helmet up there. So it's a well-constructed helmet. It comes with a good restraint system and good padding. It's relatively comfortable and lightweight. I'll try to put specs up there so you can have that. So the helmet starts obviously as the base of your helmet setup, and then you add on to that. All right, fam, the next thing you're gonna wanna add is ear pros. So fam, you can drop a bag on ear pro and ear pro setup. And again, we will probably do that with my ballistic helmet, and I'll talk a little bit about it at the end of this video, but I didn't want to do that. So what I did was I picked up some hardhead veteran rail adapters that would allow me to attach my ear pro. And for my ear pro, I just took standard Walker slim razors and I adapted them to fit with my low rail mounts from hardhead veterans. And fam, it worked out pretty good, I gotta say. You know, when you want to engage them, you just drop them down like so. When you're not using them, you can flip them back up like that. And I found them to be more than adequate so far. Obviously, I'll put up the cost for the adapters and for the razors, but I would say probably all in, we're talking about 120 bucks or something like that. If memory serves, again, I'll put it up there. But that is a very, very affordable ear pro setup for a helmet. You know, you can go all out with something like Ops Core rails with Ops Core ear pro that have communication set up in them, and you can spend well over $1,000 just for your ear pro setup. So the fact that we were able to come get the helmet and get the ear pro setup for less than 200 bucks, that's a pretty good budget situation. All right, fam, next up, if you're gonna have nods on the front of your gun, the weight is going to be distributed this way. And although these nods are pretty lightweight, you need some kind of counterweight. So that's what we have here. We have a Team Wendy counterweight to help give balance to the helmet. Okay, fam, so the pouch and the associated weights, they were a little over 100 bucks, 110, 115 bucks, something like that. I'll put the price up there. Now you've got great balance to the helmet. All right, fam, next up you have the Unity Tactical Sparker marker light. This is designed to help people around you be able to see exactly where you are, to make sure that you don't experience an accident. This is a far less expensive way to go than, say, a full out strobe like I'll be putting on my higher end helmet, but I'll put the price up there. But I want to say the price was only about 30 bucks or so, 35, 40 bucks for this, and I think it came with like a pack of 2 or 3. All right, fam, you're gonna need some lighting source on your helmet. So I'll start off with my Enforce light up top. I'll put the model number and the MSRP of the light up there. What's great about this is that not only does it generate white light, it also adds IR light. And if I'm running my budget rifle setup, the illuminator is not phenomenal. So to have some backup illumination there, I think is great. Also, white light, it's sitting on an Echo Arms mount. I want to say between the mount and the light, you're probably talking a couple $100 bucks. Again, fam, relatively speaking, budget friendly for sure. All right, fam, next up is my secondary lighting source, which is this Princeton admin light right here, fam. If you're trying to read something, maybe trying to read a map or whatever the case may be, you don't want a bright light, you just need a small admin light that's going to keep your exposure down to a minimum. The Princeton is kind of the standard. It is not an expensive light. I think the light runs somewhere between 80 and 100 bucks. Again, I'll put the price up there for the Princeton admin light. All right, fam, look, now we start to get to the expensive part of the helmet, the front of the helmet. First of all, fam, you've got an Argus A4 NVG mount there. I didn't go for the Wilcox 24 mount because, again, this is my budget setup. A Wilcox probably runs about $500, somewhere in there, while this mount is only about $150. It's very similar to the Wilcox and pretty well constructed, I might add. So saved a little bit of money there. And what has to mount to the mount are the NOS themselves. These are the RIX RNV31 tactical night vision goggles. These are, and again, we're going to do a full review on these, so I'm not going to get into that, but these are very good NOS at a relatively affordable price, entry-level price, and we'll put that price up there, but I want to say the MSRP somewhere for around $4,500, which is a very affordable price for dual NOS. Obviously, I could have went with a monocular and saved a little bit of money, but since I got a good deal on these, I went ahead and got the binos. Alright, fam, now if you add up all those individual parts for my budget helmet setup, it comes to still about $5,500. Now, to my credit, the NOS themselves are about $4,500 of that $5,500, right? So about $1,000 for the helmet, all the lighting you see, the counterweight, the admin light, the ear pro, the rail, all of that. So I think I did a relatively good job keeping the cost down. Now I'll tell you that all of that stuff, with the exception of the NOS, was probably right around $1,000, right? A good ballistic helmet, an Ops Core ballistic helmet, is going to run me over $1,000 without the helmet itself. Okay, now you add the ear pro and that setup, that's going to be very expensive. I'm going to put a real strobe on there. That's probably going to run me $300-400. The Wilcox mount is another $500, so on and so on. So when I do my ballistic setup, that's probably going to be more than double the price of what you see here once you factor in the NOS. And so I think I did a good job coming up with a solid setup that is also budget friendly. You guys let me know what you think down in the comments. But that was your boy 2A-N-LA's budget helmet setup. Alright? That's it for this episode, fam. Until next time, as always, take care of one another and peace.